Apparently, I went too deep and hard, and when I say like it was so much blood, and they were just freaking out. They started freaking out, and we were inside the
Yeah.
club, and them freaking
Ooh.
out started making other people freak out.
Welcome back to Butch Queen After Dark. I'm your host, David Brandyn, and this is the podcast where we ask the filthy questions and you just pretend you're listening for education. Tonight, I got the queen who is all the above, a visionary, a leader, the mother of all mothers, and a switch who can destroy your ego, rebuild your self-esteem, and teach you how to moan correctly. Yeah, I'm talking about winner of Legendary Season 1, the only, your mother's favorite mother, Calypso Jete. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how y'all
Yay.
doing? What's your tea blockers? So what's the
Yeah,
Butch Queen After Dark? I don't normally indulge in Butch Queens, but I mean,
I know. So Butch Queen After Dark, we talking about all the things sex, all the things education, all the things sex positivity. And as the resident Butch Queen After Dark myself, I figured I would want to hear from more than just Butch Queens, right? I need to hear from all people. And specifically, I need to hear from femme queens because what's a Butch Queen without a femme queen by his side?
do
You know
do
what I'm
do do do
saying?
do.
Come on, come on.
No,
So, and no shade. Actually, let me ask you this. As someone who I would consider an actual femme queen, right? Someone who walks balls, what is your definition of a femme queen?
so a femme queen is obviously a woman of trans experience. So if you're a
Mm-hmm.
woman of trans experience, you fall into femme queen. But a femme queen is like think of Beyonce is like the woman of trans experience. Think of a femme queen as like Sasha Fierce. It's like that over essence. Like when they walk in the room, the air changes.
Yes.
When they step out, the people be like, "He's dangerous. She's about to turn it." It's like
Yes.
it takes it to a whole nother level of being and meaning. Everybody wants to be a femme queen, but everybody can't be a femme queen.
Not. And I really love that definition because you said a word that resonates with me a lot, which is the essence, right? It is an energy shift in the room when a femme queen enters the room, right? Femme queens are trans women, but are all trans women femme queens? I would say no,
Exactly.
right? Right. And I think the same thing for butch queens. Like, you're a gay man, sure, great. But like, are you a butch queen? It's very different. You have to have that essence. I describe it, and it's hard to describe in words. Like, I always say, like, yeah, gay men are like this, but butch queens are like, it's
Yeah, butch
just a little
queens have
something
that.
extra.
Butch queens have that extra like. There's like that extra like you can look at them, you'd be like, "That's a butch queen," but like the
Yes,
fab.
yes, yes, yes. And same thing for femme queens. There's just something a little bit extra to it. So thank you for defining that because I completely agree. Okay, tell me, what was your sexual awakening or one of your sexual awakenings?
Honestly, I would have to say when I started working. Okay, so when I came out to school, I started working at this sex club in the valley called United
Mm-hmm.
Sex Addicts. And I
Mm.
remember we went there. We only went there because my roommate, we were passing by, my roommate needed to pay rent. And we passed by and we ran into this club and I walked inside and I remember the first thing that I did in there was a couple. The man had me like slap him and spit on him, and he had me take my heel and insert it up his wife. And I
Whoa.
said, "Wow." And they honestly, they gave me a cute little coin for it because that was what they were into. From there, I started being a dancer. I went from dancer to being a host. I started being flown out to different cities, hosting like the adult parties. And then from there, sex became how can I explain it? Sex wasn't sex no more. I always compare sex to like love and like, relationships and being
Yeah.
meaningful. Sex just then became like a thing to do. It just became regular.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
working as a showgirl with so many go-go dancers and stuff, I would go home and I would watch porn, and then like a lot of the go-go dancers were porn stars. I stopped watching porn
Mm.
because I just felt like I was violating my friend whenever after I
Mm.
feel like
You didn't like
violating her.
that. Okay. Okay.
It became sex to me just became like a pastime.
Yeah.
Like now I feel like I can like engage in sex with people and not have no feelings or emotions put behind it. Where back in the past, I used to be like, "Oh my god, I'm having sex because like I have some feelings and emotions with it."
Yeah. Do you want to experience sex with feelings and emotions?
Uh, Sometimes I do, but
Yeah.
I'll be honest. In my daily life, I be so busy that I have like a cute little like roster of like 4 people that I can hit up and be like, boom, boom, boom. And those are people that I have emotional connections with, that
Mm.
I talk to on like a daily basis. They understand parts of me. I understand parts of them. So when we do hook up, it's more meaningful. Versus, like, if I just go out there and hook up, because I could just go suck a dick, but then I can also go suck a dick with meaning, and I'll be so much invested into it and be like, "Oh my god, yeah."
Yes, that's so good. I love that you spoke to both, right? You have people, I mean, sex as work, right? You are not involving your emotions. You have to put that boundary up, right? Because this is a job, right? You getting what you have to get done, but you also have partners that you have those emotional connections with that you feel something, right? It's less of a job for you. You know what I'm saying? It's more like about both of your pleasure, which I think is a great balance to have.
Yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of time a lot of times I feel like when I am doing sex where when there's work involved, it's more so like I look at it as a job. Like, I'm not turned on, but I'll act in the way that, the people are satisfied and they feel like, I'm going with it.
That's
But
right.
I just feel like, oh, like I'm fisting you, or I'm like, we're doing role play. It's not really doing that for me. It's more so like satisfying you. And I also think like a sick part of me is like when they're getting satisfied, then a part of me is like satisfied because I like to please people. I like to make sure people are
Yes.
well taken care of.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I feel like people don't recognize the mental coming, right? Like you satisfying someone, you don't have to touch yourself or anything. Like just knowing that you did that,
Exactly.
that is like an internal come. Like that's everything, right? That's an internal orgasm. Like that feels so good to know that you can do that. Now, take me back. Okay, so you said night one of this club, you were putting a heel up a man's butthole
No,
and
I
his
couldn't
wife was
heal
watching?
up a woman's vagina.
Got it. Okay, the man, and this is night one.
This is night one.
This is the first time you went?
This is the first time I went.
Had you ever done anything remotely like that ever bbefore that?
No, so to be honest with you,
Wow.
I was so like, I didn't even know these things happen. I didn't like, I was, cause I grew up in a Christian based household
Okay.
and I never knew things like this like existed outside of the city that I grew up in. Like, it was just so
Sorry,
like,
where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Moreno Valley.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And so, like, I'll put it like this. This is like off tangent, but I used to watch RuPaul's Drag Race and I used to
Yeah.
have to hide to watch the show. And I
Mhm.
didn't even know like people like that existed. Like in
Mm.
real life. I thought it was just like a TV show, like, things put together. And
So, did you not think those, like, were real people? You thought they were, like, acting? Like
yeah, I thought like all this was acting
mm.
like the basis of sex that I saw was like watching like HBO After Dark and like it'd be like
Yes.
like, they're like sucking each other or like fucking. I always thought sex was very vanilla. Like it's just like, guy and guy, girl and girl, just they just I didn't know there was like all these extra components that happen
Yeah.
until I moved to Hollywood and I was going to school and I was outside and like, met different people in the scene and they were like introduced me. I was going to bathhouses. I was very like open minded. I've always been open minded. I was very open minded and learned these new things. So it was a it was a shock to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and so in this club, did this couple come up to you and say, "Hey, this is what we wanna do." What are you thinking in that moment? You've never done anything like this before.
Well, all I knew is that my roommate needed to make her money.
"Hey,
And they came up to me, and
gotta make
I
this money."
was at the time, it was before I transitioned, so I was in drag, and
Mm.
at the time, like, the guy, he was just like I had a breastplate, and he was just like, like, touching me and everything, and he's like, "I like women like you," and at this time, I'm like, "Why does he keep saying, like, he likes women like me?" And, I'm like, "What is, like, this going on?" And then when I found out the club that I was at a trans night.
Mm.
So then I started figuring out 'cause mind you, for the longest, I thought the people that was going in there was just cross dressers.
Copy. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I never I never tried to identify as trans when I first came out because I always had this bad insight of trans people based on what people would tell me. So
Mm,
I was just like, why is these people so fascinated by this? And like
yeah.
that couple really opened me up to like being dominant.
Mm,
It really helped me like get a backbone and like really like try new things
yeah.
and I got to exude my power. I never knew like, wow, I have so much power within like my looks, my voice, my
That's right.
acting. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Had you played with them again after that?
I never ran into them again.
Okay.
After that, working at the club, I started to experience like different things. Like I experienced furries. I
Mm,
met this guy who he wanted to be fisted, and he had been fisted before, so he's the one who taught me. And he was he
okay.
was he was walking me through it, like, starting with, like, 2 fingers and, like, working my way up and everything. That's how I got into, like, fisting, and then I
Mm,
went the club is connected to different venue locations, so they have this club called The Dungeon, and they would have did this, like, leather this is leather competition. So I remember I, like, went there and I entered.
oh, shit.
And
Okay.
yeah, and so, like, I got into it, like, the toys with bondage. I started learning more of a background. I had a mentor at the time who was like, "Teach me the ropes, like, this is what you do. This is how you can, like, make finances work through this, and this is how, like, you can, like, get people to do." And so it was just like it just became a thing. I was flying to, like, San Francisco to the Power Exchange. I was doing, like, events
Wow.
there. I was going to Portland. I was going to Vegas, like, it was just so crazy, like, just seeing the different people and it's different things. I got into play parties. I started learning about swingers, furries, role playing. Then I I met this one guy and he was into like piss play and like sniffing farts and everything. And I thought these things in my head, I thought these things were like disgusting. I was like, why would I do that? And then I was like, let me see like, what's gonna happen. And I got into it and I was like, no shade. Like, if he enjoys it,
Yeah.
it's not hurting me. I'm benefiting from it. He's benefiting from it. We're both good. So
Yes.
now I don't
Yes.
judge. Like when people tell me stuff, like I tell people I'm very fetish friendly. I don't judge people based off things. I've done things from sticking my nails, like sharpening my nails, sticking them to people, and
Mm,
all of that. Like I have to understand people have different kinks and fetishes that that they enjoy, and who am
yeah.
I to judge? Because I don't want people judging me.
Right. I think you said something so important, which along like the non-judgment space is like, is it hurting me? Is it hurting anyone else? That's where we can start. If it ain't hurting nobody, mentally, physically, emotionally, then let the people do what they got to do. Like it,
Exactly.
it should be fine, right? And the best part about it is I don't have to do it if I don't want. I ain't got to
Exactly.
do it.
It's consensual.
Yeah, yeah,
And there's
it's
an
consensual.
understanding. There's an understanding, and there's like a relationship and trust that you have to build with these people. Like it's not just I'm just walking up to anybody and being like, oh, like I always ask people are like, oh, can you fist me? I'll be like, have you done this before? Or is this something that like I always have to make sure because I have had times where I've messed up before.
Okay.
And I have to take accountability and I feel bad because like, they told me they were into something, they weren't really into it, and
Can you tell us a story around that? Like, maybe someone said they were into something and they really weren't, and then you might have felt bad. Like, how can you tell us a story around that?
I have so many. Well, so I had one time, I was sounding somebody, and
Okay. Can you explain sounding for those that don't know?
so for a male, you'll take like their penis shaft and you'll insert like this rod, and it'll either create electrical magnetic waves, like a little shocking sensation, like not too bad, like a table, like if you rub something against like your clothes against something, like a shock,
Yes.
it'll vibrate and you'll insert into their penile shaft,
Right.
um, and it gets them off. So one time, a person was like, "This is what they've done it before. This is it." Mind you, I was taking precaution. I was holding it, I was putting in it, and I don't know, like, I guess, like, while I was inserting it, they kinda, like, jerked, like, they kinda, like, jerked and then, like,
Yeah.
inserted too far and didn't turn out well. I've had experiences with one time with my nail. I was sharpening my nail, this guy told me to insert my nail to them. Apparently, I went too deep and hard, and when I say, like, they were just, like it was so much blood, and it kinda gave me, like, I kinda went and, like, shocked myself because I was like, "What?" Like and they were just freaking out, they started freaking out, and we were inside the
Yeah.
club, and them freaking
Ooh.
out started making other people freak out. So,
Right.
we're in, like, a dark setting, they turn on the light, there's blood, there's, like, a puddle of blood, like, the people are freaking out.
So what happens then, right? So first of all, let's just start with when you're doing BDSM, there is risk all the time, right?
Mm.
It's not a no risk activity. Like, something might happen, right? We are doing things with bodily organs. We're sticking things in places, right? There's blood involved, there's cutting. So you know that there's some danger. So for this to happen is not necessarily abnormal, right? Like something like this could possibly happen. So starting there, right? You both knowing that going into it, how do you reconcile with your partner after all of this is done, or what did you do immediately to help the situation?
Usually, like, I try to tell them to stay calm. I tell
Yeah.
them to stay calm. Depending on severity of the situation, like, either find things around me to, like, like, help them out, like, maybe, like, a towel, wash them up, or, like, I'll grab somebody else to come in and, like we practice safe words, but a lot of times, like, the people don't implement the safe word. So
Mm,
now I have to go back and I always have to be like, "Are you okay? Are you
yeah.
like, are we good?" And sometimes they'd be like, like, "I feel like you're taking me out the moment because, like, you're asking, like" I'm like but I'll be like, "I just don't like I don't I with new people, I don't like to take risks." Especially, like,
Yeah.
I just got into poppers. I literally just got into
Mm,
poppers, and I got into I got into poppers because a guy I was hooking up with introduced me to them, and I remember, like, the effect that it did on me, like, made me, like, go out of state of mind. Before that, I would have people who were, like I would do BDSM on and do poppers, but there's this can called Maximum
impact, right?
yeah,
Is it
Maximum
maximum?
and the Great
Would you
Can.
spray into the towel?
Mhm.
Yes, maximum
So
impact. Yeah.
I remember I had a daughter who was getting into BDSM, and the guy invited us over, and we used the regular pop. We were using, like, regular, like, jungle juice, like, everything, and they were like, "This is not" they needed more. So,
Mm,
they ordered the Maximum Impact. It got shipped to the they said spray it in a towel, and this was my first time, like, doing something like this because I never had heard about this, so I was like, "Is this going to
yeah.
be like am I gonna, like, give this" like, I was like, "What?" So I sprayed it in a towel, and I remember he said, "Put his face." He said, "Just smother my face in the towel," because he was already tied up.
Yeah.
I smothered his face in the towel. He held my hand there, and then he passed out, and
Oh
for the
my God.
second I was like, "God, do we, like, kill this man?" Cause he was down. He was not moving. I'm asking hey, like, wake up, like, what's going on? Like, da 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 da." I kid you not, for a good, like, 3 minutes, he was not moving, and we
Mm.
were in his friend's house, and his friend was just sitting on the couch just watching, and, like, his friend made it seem like this is something they do
Oh,
normal,
you
and
do it
I'm just
all the
looking
time.
like I'm freaking out like, "Oh my god, I don't know what I just did. I think we just killed this man."
Oh my God.
Blah, blah, blah. Then he gets back up and he was like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh my god, do it again." And I was like, "Oh no." I said, we need to, like, figure out what's going on." And then when I finally got into poppers, I was like, "Oh my god," like, the way it took over my body and, like, I was just out of control and everything. I was like, "This can really be dangerous."
It can be. I think poppers can be very addicting, especially if they are continuously connected to sex. I know, like, for me, I've done poppers for a while, but, like, something like 6 years ago, like, I really got into them. Something happened where I was, like, doing them all the time, and I wouldn't have sex without them, and that's when I was just like, "Okay, let me see if I could pull back a little bit because I still wanna be able to" like, what if I don't have poppers? I'm just not gonna have sex? Like, I don't want this to be as connected to sex for me, but it does enhance it. It's an enhancer, right? It feels good. I
I'll
get
be
it.
honest. I'll be honest with you now. The way I have been into poppers is kind of crazy because I don't even use I don't even like use them for sex. Like I just feel like it just gets me when I'm around people in like settings like that.
Yeah.
I'll do it, and it just puts my mind in, like, a euphoric space where
Yes.
I feel now it's easier for me to handle people, especially
Mm,
if I'm not doing work. Let's just say I'm just going to an adult party to just go indulge and hang out. I feel like, "Damn, like, I need something," because I don't smoke or drink or do any type of,
that's
like,
right. Right.
drugs, so now, since I got into poppers, I go to, like, a lot of adult parties, and I'll do the popper and be like, it just helps me, like
It gets you in the mood. It gets you in the moment, right?
yeah, it helps me,
Yeah.
like, interact with the people because 'cause it'd be hard,
Yeah.
like, sometimes and I just feel like nowadays, like, especially with so many new things in the world, I need something for me to interact with individuals because
Mm,
honestly, I feel like now there are not a lot of people who are really like fetish friendly into kinks. I feel like a lot of people just say that they're into it because they're trying to fit,
mm.
but they're not really into it.
Yeah, let's just go back a little bit to the sounding situation where you said this guy said he had experience, but he didn't, right?
Exactly.
Why why is that happening? Sounding is can be so dangerous if you are not experienced. I can't imagine anyone saying, "Yeah, I've done this before," and they haven't. Like that's wild to me.
I, I honestly, what I've come across, like when people have seen like my video stuff, people be like, "Oh my god, you're so sexy! Like, I would love if you like fisted me." And I'd be like, "Have you done that before?" And they'd be like, some people like, "Yeah," some people like, "No," but I want to try it. And I'd be like, I feel like honestly, they'd be really, really like horny, and
Yeah.
people just want to like experiment and try things because there's a lot of people I'd be like, okay, like, for example, there's people to be like, I like to like role play. And we'll get into the role play and they won't really be into the role play. I feel like it's just like the fantasy or things they seen and they'd be like, I
Yeah.
want to try this out. But me personally, I've kind of gone from being like the experiment person with people to like now like you have to show me like some like proof that you've done it, or like, or do you have like another mistress, or do you have another dom? Do you have like a page on FetLife? I need to see because I just feel a lot of people like to experiment now because they see these things and they be like, "Let me try it out," because it's which is fine on their end, but I can't be the one to be experimenting.
That's right, and no shade because that's work. That is work. You gotta work, and you trying to chill out, or it's like there's a lot of value in teaching someone, in holding someone's hand, right? And
Yeah.
maybe you don't always wanna do that.
Yeah, cause then what becomes annoying to me is, like, if I'm like, let's say I'm fisting you, and then you're like, "Oh, take it out, take it out, take it out, take it out." "Okay, put it back in, put it back in, put it back in."
Yeah,
"Okay, take it out, take it out." And I'm like,
yeah.
mind you, my fist is not even in you. I just have, like, 2 fingers. It just becomes like a process, like, this is a lot, and I don't have that much patience anymore
Yeah.
to
Yes.
you
Yes.
know
You know what you like, and you know how you like it, and it's giving, "I want it like that," and if it's not giving that, I don't have time to, like, figure it out sometimes,
exactly.
and that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. How do or do your lives as like this dom, this fetish person, right, sect with ballroom in any way? Is there any like crossover or any situations that were like a crossover?
Uh, only in regards to, like, my effects, like, the outfits I wear, I'll use some of my
Okay.
stuff, but,
Okay.
I don't know, I try to keep, like, my ballroom life, my personal life, my showgirl life, and my, like, dom life separate from each other, like,
Yeah.
the crossover. It's crazy because being in the community, you would think that I interact with a lot of people think that I interact with a lotta, people within the community, but I don't. I actually
Mm,
interact with a lot of couples, male and female, heterosexual couples,
okay.
like a lot of swingers parties and stuff that I attend. I go out there, and then guys who are interested in me usually be like quote unquote the cis hetero men. So when it comes to ballroom, I try to keep that separate because since I
Yeah.
am a mother in the scene and everything. My kids, they're like adults, so they know they know what I do, but
Yeah.
I don't try to parade it to everybody because being in the community, and I hate to say this, like the community can be judgmental at times, and the community can try to take those things and use those things against you, and
Yes.
and the ways and everything. But there have been some times where there's been like panels for sex positive panels, like panels like you've thrown, or panels that other people have thrown out of state where they have me come in and speak on like sex positive, like making sure you're safe and
Yeah.
practices. But it's crazy that I would say more so me being a showgirl, I interact with people within like the leather bear community and the leather community more than I do with like
The Ballroom girls. Yeah, yeah. It's funny, but like I am very, sex positive, out and open and everything. But the place that I'm most cautious about that is in Ballroom. I don't know why. And I'm wondering now is like, why does Ballroom make me feel a little bit more sex negative than other scenes?
it's crazy. My dream category that I always want to walk is sex siren. And it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy because um I don't have the body that I want yet to walk
Mm.
sex siren, and I've practiced sex siren, but it's like I'll go walk like sex siren in the ballroom scene, and like it'll be a hit or miss. Some days they'll live for me, some days they don't. But it's crazy because like the same things that I do, and I'll go to like a adult club or adult party and everything. The people go up, they be like, "You are the sexiest person I've ever seen. Like, you just turn me on, everything." But I feel like when you get in front of your peers in
It's a
the
little different.
community makes it like I feel like the community is always picking and choosing and finding ways to make sure that you're not like
You don't feel it too much. You ain't too fat.
yeah, and I'd be like and I always tell people like they always have this thing like, your ballroom in real life. And I'd be like, it's so crazy because like I can literally step out of here in this same outfit, like this same dress that you guys may have chopped me for or don't see it for. I'll go in front of like people outside, even just outside, and people be like, "You're so sexy, like we've
Yeah.
never seen like did it," and I was
Yeah.
like, that's so crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Different audience. And it's giving go where you're appreciated, right? Like
Exactly.
go where you're appreciated. Not every room is gonna love you. And the best part about that is the room next door will. It's totally fine. Yep. Yep. So you mentioned some things that you're really into, right? Actually, I want to start with this. Talk about furries. You mentioned furries a couple times. What's your experience with furries?
Oh my god, I got okay. So I first got into furries by watching the porn, and I was like,
Sorry to cut you off. Could you tell the world what furries are first for those that don't know?
furries are people who cosplay as different fur
Yeah.
animals,
Like
characters.
mascot
Yeah,
costumes,
like
right? Like
mascot costumes. Like I'm trying to think of like a perfect example. Think of like a Tony the Tiger, but
yeah, yes,
like
yes,
yeah, like a
yes.
Tony the Tiger. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen cats, dogs, horses, unicorns, frogs, like different animals that are furry, right? Okay.
Yeah, and so it's basically like a type of role play, cosplay, sexual cosplay, and they do different things. And then within a furry, you could do the normal things you normally do as like your sexual life. Like you can still do BDSM, you could still do like pup play, you can still like just something different, like,
Mhm.
avenue. But I first got into them when I was watching porn. I was watching porn as a kid. I was like, is that like a dog? Like, what? And I was like, am I supposed to like this? This is kind of weird. And then when I got older, I used to talk to this boy who used to cosplay. He used to have furry costumes.
Okay.
I told him like, can you like, like play with me like in now? And like he
Uh-huh.
did. And it was very interesting. And I think that's like a secret fetish of mine that I don't tell most people because they probably like, what?
Well,
Like
this
I don't like the judgment part.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's judgment part, but like it's hot. It's kind of hot. Like
Yeah.
and especially just not knowing who's behind the mask.
Yes. Yes.
Like you don't know who's behind the mask because like
Yeah.
they can have like a nice body and everything, and let's say their face is not like that appealing, but that mask will change your whole perspective and things.
Yeah.
It's that mystery behind it.
Yeah, that's so cool. What do you remember what kind of furry that first one was?
It was a dog.
It was a dog. Okay. Okay.
It was a dog. Oh my god! I think I have. It used to be on. They used to have that site XTube. I used to love me some
Oh yeah,
XTube.
Xtube. Yes, Xtube's still around.
It
Okay.
is.
Yeah, I know you don't watch porn no more because all your friends popping up.
Oh, I know. All the ballroom people pop up too. I'd be like, "Oh my god,
Baby,
I
baby,
can't watch nothing no more."
for me, or honestly, for me, it is so wild. Like there've always been porn stars in ballroom, always. But like the jump from like my era, 2002 to 2015, from to 2015 to now, I'm like, everybody, all these porn stars are walking balls. All of these
Yeah, like
girls.
I used to watch this site called Thugmart all the time.
Okay,
Thugmart was my site. Like
Thug
I used to
Mart.
be Thugmart, yeah.
I love that.
Is these beautiful black and Latin men. I used to watch it
Yep.
all the time. And then
Yeah.
I would be like, "Oh my god," like, just sitting there in my room, like, indulging myself in it. Then when I remember I went to a ball, my first ball in, like, 2015, and I
Mm.
was like, look like the people I was watching on the video. Then I remember my gay father comes to me and was like, "Oh my god, yeah, they're in our house. This is your uncle," or, like, "This is, like, your brother." Everything.
Mm.
I'd be like, "Oh my gosh," like but I think that, like and that's another thing when you asked me earlier, like porn and sex and like being in theater, changing front of people has groomed me so much because now like there'll be categories like sex and I'll be like, oh my god, he's so appealing because of his face and everything. But like helping people change, helping people tuck, everything, those things don't get me up. Or like those things don't like turn me on. I don't look at people sexually like that anymore because I'd be like, I'm like, I'm in the mindset of like, this is a competition
Yeah.
space. This
Yes.
is work or blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah. You're able to compartmentalize those different things for you. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I have some listener letters that I think you can help with. So I'm going to read them now. Let's see here. All right. So the first one says, I am a 30-year-old person who used to be super kink positive and confident. Then I got into a relationship with someone who called my kinks too much or weird. We broke up, thank God, but now I feel ashamed of the things that used to turn me on. I used to love all the BDSM stuff, but now when someone tries it with me, I freeze up like I'm doing something wrong. How do I get my kink confidence back after someone shamed me out of it? What do you think?
Well, listener, honestly, I feel like it's the journey. I feel like you have to really go back and you have to really separate those moments of judgment from your from the things that you excite you. Normally, like when somebody judges me for something I do, I always tell people like at the end of the day, this benefits me. This satisfies me. I indulge in it. You don't have to indulge in it. You don't have to like it. I think just going back to like how we were talking earlier about like ballroom, like if we relate it back to ballroom, it's just like you have to figure out what's for you and what makes you happy. You have to reclaim your happiness. That goes
Yeah.
back to the same. Like, if these are the things that benefit me, I'm paying my own bills. I'm making sure I'm having fun. It does not hurt me. It's not hurting nobody else. That's how you gotta, like, gotta think. I understand it's hard. It's not easy after somebody might tell you so many times, but sometimes you just have to look and be like, baby steps.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
take things and go back to them and be like, "Hey, like, I really feel like this is something I enjoy." And if you meet a person that enjoys it just as much as you, then you can find that connection and build that relationship to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really important. Is like, yes, you were ashamed of this activity one time, right? However, there are so many people that are gonna like the shit that you like. Find those people and you know what I'm saying, load that account, like load the account of people that like it and stop loading your judgment account, right? Keep those feelings over there because that's only going to encourage you to like it more and not feel shame for yourself. And you said the right thing, Calypso. Like again, if it ain't hurting you and ain't hurting me, why would you judge this? And for me, if you're judging me for my kink and the things that I like that are not hurting anyone, I'm judging you because what kind of person are you? You're terrible. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
Like,
you're terrible.
yeah, like you're judging me for that? Oh, well, I gotta judge you now. Okay, very good. We got one more letter here. Hey David, I'm a butch queen who's been in ballroom for a few years now, and I've developed the biggest crush on a femme queen in another house. It's not just lust, I have big feelings for her, but here's the problem. I don't know if ballroom romances ever work. There's politics, status, and I don't want to look like I'm clout chasing. How do I shoot my shot without messing up my house relationships? Interesting.
Wait, okay, wait. So it's a butch queen who
It's a is a butch queen that likes a femme queen, but I think he is afraid of, I guess, like dynamics when like dating in the ballroom scene. I guess that's what this person is. That what you're asking, listener, like or writer? You are trying to figure out what it looks like to
Date a
date
femme queen
someone
in a
without
ballroom.
date a femme queen without looking like you clout chasing, without the politics of it all. If that makes sense.
Okay, well, I think that the first thing now this is what I'm gonna disclaimer. This is what I say to all butch queens. First, make sure that you like this femme queen, or like anybody, but like this femme queen for who they are as a person,
Mm, yeah.
and that this is something that you really want to do because I know with myself, like when it has come to butch queens like liking me, a lot of times it's a fetish. It's a fetish, and
Talk
but
about
it's
it.
not like fetish like maliciously. It's
Yeah.
like an internal thing. Like so, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing, I think when it comes to ballroom dating, I think that it's absolutely possible. To you guys are in separate houses as well. I just think that you guys need to keep your relationship out of ballroom.
That's it.
And,
Yeah.
like, when it comes to ballroom people, especially being people in the community, keeping your relationship out. Not saying like you guys can't interact and stuff at the ball and stuff, like,
Of
like
course.
that's my girl, blah blah blah. But just whatever problems and stuff that you guys go through it with each other
Yeah.
and communicate and be transparent and honest. And don't bring it to the ballroom because ballroom has a way of taking people's happiness and making it pertain to their happiness. If they're not happy, they want to make sure that sometimes you're not happy. And just
Yeah.
also like just remember that I always tell my kids this when you're at a ball, it's a competition.
Yes.
So you're there to compete. When you leave that ball floor, you guys are back in, your world of your
That's right.
family, your love, and everything. I would say keep it in that aspect.
Yeah.
Also, if she is a fab femme queen and she has like a lot of admirers, make sure that you are very transparent and aware of that so you know what you're getting yourself into. And not to say that she's gonna cheat or you're gonna cheat, but just know like if she has a lot of admirers because she's a femme queen and a lot of butch queens and people like to gravitate towards the femme queens as like mother figures or like as like like the dolls. They wouldn't feel fat. Just don't let that become a jealous thing in your life or envious thing in your life where it could cause dynamics within you guys. Because that's where it gets messy.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I can't add anything to that. Look, I think Calypso knows what she's talking about. Good luck out there. And one thing I
Yeah.
will say is like, no shade, like approach the girls though. Like I feel like a lot of femme queens want to be approached by butch queens. Am I wrong? Like they want to be, but the right way. So like
Yeah.
don't
And
be
I
a
think
go ahead.
I would say yes. I just think that the approach though has to be genuine and the approach has to
Yes.
be one of like you view them as the person they choose to be.
That's
You
right.
accept them
That's
for the
right.
person they choose to be. I know there have been times where like butch queens have like been like, oh, I like a femme queen, but they see her as like a male and everything. And I'd be like,
That's wild.
you would think it's wild, but like some butch queens that I know
Yeah.
see femme queens as
Yeah.
male counterparts because they have extra parts for the heart and they just want that hole for the soul.
Giving Dr. Seuss up in here.
Okay?
Yes. Yeah, you're right. And I think yeah, you said it earlier too. Like let's approach these folks as people first, right? Not as trans people. We're not fetishizing them, right? And just be on your P's and Q's and good luck. Good luck to you. Okay, we are coming to the end of the episode. Calypso, you have been truly amazing. What you contribute to community and to the fetish world, I think is really, really great. So thank you so much. Do you want to plug anything coming out and plug your socials? You can go ahead.
Well, my name is Calypso Jete Balmain. You can follow me at Instagram, Calypso Jete, CALYPSOJETE. You can follow me on Facebook at Calypso Jete. I'm probably not gonna give you my Twitter. You can find me on FetLife as Queen_Lips.
Okay.
And as far as plugging anything, I mean, I don't really have much coming up. Things just pop up on my radar.
I feel you. Can you I know we finished the interview, but I'm gonna go back a little bit. Can you talk about FetLife for those that don't know what that is?
Yeah, so FetLife is a website for individuals who like to indulge in adult fetishes, kinks, parties, gatherings. It's a website where you can find almost everything: adult parties, events, groups, chat
Yep.
rooms. You could just post up there. Yeah, think about it as like the adult MySpace Facebook.
Yes, I was gonna say that too. Like it's giving MySpace in like it is a social networking thing,
Yeah,
but it has like all those things that we kind of miss from Facebook, like the pictures and the profile, like you can leave comments, like there are also ways to like verify, like you were talking about earlier, like has this person done this before? There was like reviews, right? Like people will comment.
there's reviews, pictures,
Yeah,
videos.
yeah,
You can like literally if you go on FetLife, there's something for everybody on there.
yes.
Literally.
Yeah. Okay, so make sure y'all follow Calypso on FetLife. What was your name one more time?
Oh my god. I think it's Queen underscore lips or it's
Queen
TS
Lips.
Mistress 93. It's one of
Okay.
those. Y'all
We
follow,
go
y'all see me.
we gonna check for both. That's perfect. Thank you again, Calypso. You've been amazing. I love you and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you and have a
Yes.
blessed time. We'll connect soon.
Yes, we will. All right.
I'll talk to you
Peace.
soon.